Hello and welcome back, coaches, to another episode of Superfed TV presents the REL Divisions 1, 2, and 3. I'm your host, Superfed TV, and joining me today we do have a guest. His name is Saace, and you will know him as the Division 1 coach of Animal Farm. Say hello, Saace.
There we go. Hello.
There you are.
Sorry, look for a second.
Oh, no worries. So we are going to pick up with Division 3 action where we usually do. And on week 4, taking a look at the results. First matchup was Please Don't Murder Me versus Dimension C137. So it's High Elves versus Undead. Are you familiar with any of the Div 3 teams, Saace? Or?
A few are known to me from last season recaps.
Okay.
But some of these are new. Both these are new to me.
Yeah, so Please Don't Murder Me, as the name would suggest, is a High Elf team that likes to avoid the action. 21 blocks taken. The Undead team has a history of obviously fouling and getting a lot of removals. I think they've claimed the most bounties so far as well. Doesn't look like there was any kills this game, but they did clear a bunch of the pitch and get the win.
Lots of SPP for both teams as well.
Yeah. Yep. Only 2 passes from the High Elf, so. I do want to note that High Elf team has the Wizard Stadium, which I thought was pretty interesting. And their Wizard didn't do very much, and the Fireball for the Undead, I think, got a Kaz too. So
I usually don't recommend the Wizard Stadium until you're so bloated in TV.
yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think 2000, 2000 plus TV is where that could come into play.
I mean, if you're giving a Wizard away every week, sure, grab a Wizard Stadium. Like, the only time I think I suggested it is to King of Chaos, King of the Cosmos, when his dwarf team was about 200,000 inducements over everybody else in row 1, and then I considered it this season being in the same boat.
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of forces them. Although now that chainsaws are in the game, I think that stadium is less useful compared to when the inducements were pretty limited before Legendary Edition. But yeah. Moving on, the Rebel Rousers played the Necromantic Newbies, and it was a 1-1 draw. So it looks like the Necromantic Newbies, they were off to an early kind of sprint in the lead, and now they're tapering off. Rebel Rousers get a draw against a strong opponent. Gotta love that MVP on the Mighty Blow Werewolf. Now it's tackle. And again, only 28 blocks for the humans. That's a pretty light amount of blocks, but good for them to be able to come away with the draw there.
I like Squeaky the Thrower, strong arm.
Yeah.
Block, I mean, it's one of my issues with the throwers. They get a lot of cool stuff like strong arm and everything else, and then they never get blocked, and they're super fragile.
Yeah.
Why is it everybody has Mighty Blow werewolves or plus strength werewolves?
It's the REL curse. It's insane. You cannot play Necro without getting either doubles or strength ups. Just nuts. Moving on to the Skinky Island Boys versus the Big Green Weenies. The Big Green Weenies with 7 Mighty Blow on the Orc side still are just not coming up with a huge amount of injuries. 12 armor breaks is good, but only 3 Kaz. I guess that's okay out of 37 blocks. But either way, when you're getting injuries like that, Lizards can still score on you, and they got their own decent amount of removals as well.
Especially if you're prioritizing Mighty Blow and not picking up block and tackle and everything else, skinks can run on by you.
Yep.
I mean, once they're past you, you're not catching up as orcs.
Well, I think there's only 1 Mighty Blow on the Lizard team, and they still got a kill on the Orcs compared to them, so yeah. Pretty bad. That's a rough start, 3-0. Skink Island Boys, this is a strong team. I expect to still do well. They also had kind of a slow start, but I'm not surprised to see them just put a wall up on these Orcs. And the Lords of Decay played the Cenobite the Curb on the Chaos team. We're going to take a look at it in a little bit here, but they got the win over the Skaven. This has been a rough season for Kalisti Maya. He's one of the recappers and always active in the chat. But yeah, Skaven just have not been able to pull off the Rat BS.
Mm, I mean, that's surprising, especially. Well, I was gonna say especially against an underdeveloped chaos team, but Cinema the Curb was up in Div 3 last season, so they're not really underdeveloped. So
Yeah, and he gave up 58 blocks.
you can't do that. Is
That's where you
87
get
versus
in
chaos?
trouble. Even if you're having to dodge away line rats and failing the dodge, you'd rather hit the dirt than get hit by Mighty Blow. My
Agreed.
opinion. Let's see. Lebowski Urban Achievers lost 0-2 to Howl at the Moon. Rumblebee expected to be at the top of this division, seeing as he was demoted and he had a beautiful team to start. Ton of armor breaks on both sides. 24 for the Chaos, 17 for the Necro, out of 37 and 34 blocks respectively. Wow.
That's a break game.
Yeah. Turn the animations off if you watch the replay. You'll be there for hours. SPP wise, not a ton, but Rod gets 11 because since he got the MVP and just is edging closer and closer to Legend. Be a good time to boot that werewolf.
Hopefully somebody deals with him. We don't need a second Claw Palm Werewolf Legend. What does Crickets have? Pro now?
I believe Pro was his legendary skill, yeah.
We'll see if Rumble follows along.
Oh, naturally. Let's see. The Secret of My Success played not FDA approved, who is currently at the top of the leaderboard, lost 0-3. This is the High Elf team that was in Div 3 last season, and they didn't quite get promoted, but they're kicking butt, and they're riding their Strength 5 Elf.
It's a rough MVP onto a dead lineman.
Yeah, I mean, anytime it's not a black orc, it's not a great MVP for orcs, but
I mean,
that's still got decent amount of
surprising.
SPP.
Not FDA approved. It was a solid team.
Yeah, yeah, and getting well developed with 3 touchdowns there. And finally, we had the Three Mountains played Scholarly Gentlemen, so Dwarf versus Chaos match. Three Mountains, Chaos Bulu. He's off to a great start this season as well. I believe he's up to 3 wins already now, and good amount of armor breaks, 45 blocks, 3 cash. That's pretty solid. And just complete ball control and domination. So, actually impressed that Chaos were able to score only 12% ball possession, so they must have had a fast 2-turn or probably a 2-turn score or something like that.
Put it in quick.
Something I've seen you do on occasion.
So is my girlfriend.
That's good. So let's take a look at the leaderboard, see where we're at right now. There are a couple games played for week 5. No surprises here though. ATL and Rumblebee, both players that have played high value teams and higher competitions, coming out on top there. Three Mountains haven't played their game yet, so I assume as long as they win or draw, they'll be right up there with the Undead team. People still in the middle that I would be concerned about. The Necro team started out strong, but they might run out of steam. The Lizardmen I would not rule out this early. They went pretty much entirely undefeated all the way to the playoffs last season, and I think they won a playoff game too, if I recall. So yeah, I would not rule them out this early. There are, I believe, 3 spots up for contention, so assuming that ATL and Rumblebee get 2 of those spots, there's going to be a lot of competition for a third.
Yeah, this one looks like a div that's separating out real nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Some are still really close, but this one's...
There's a couple clear winners, yeah.
Yeah. 3 chaos in 1 div. Good thing it's one of the lower ones.
Yeah, I mean, really only 2 elves and 1 Skaven team, so there's...
I think all the elves went up to div 2, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So the 2 teams in this division that we're going to take a look at are both Chaos teams. Cenobite the Curb, which is the very first team in the team list. They're coached by the Drunkernaut. They're 1900 TV, sitting at 150k in the bank, so they've got money for replacements if they want. But you got to love the development on this team. You're the Chaos coach. Take it away. Tell me what you like.
I really like the Beastman, the Blodge, Mighty Blow tackle. It's a good sacker right there. I would, when I get a dodge piece, I want something a bit more specialized. I mean, the big thing about Chaos is that, yeah, you can get kill pieces super easy, but you can also specialize pieces really easy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have gone something like Raj, tackle, strip ball. But either way, it's still a great piece. It makes him into just a great blitzer.
Tell me about Wary Tail.
I
That's an amalgamation.
So on one end, plus strength ball carrier, amazing. Extra
Right.
arms, great for your ball carrier. No sure hands, not a big deal in this one. I don't think there's a lot of strip ball to deal with. The plus strength into the break tackle with the dodge, like I see the progression. I see he went, I got the strength, I got the block, I got the extra arms. I'm a great ball carrier. If I take the break tackle, I'll dodge it in agi forward dodge. But he could have just taken two heads, and it works for more than one. And then he gets the dodge. Honestly, I would be super jealous of this piece if that break tackle was two heads.
Yeah, I think he got punished for taking break tackle by getting the dodge after.
I don't agree with taking break tackle into one player that can get two heads just as easy, which just seems like an oversight to me. Yeah. And two, even if he couldn't get two heads, I usually won't take it on the agi 3 to make it an agi 4 dodge. It's just not worth it. It's not value worth it. So great ball carrier, a little confusing, but I see the progression of how it went.
Mm-hmm.
And one skill swap out, he would have been an amazing one. But as he is, he's a solid one.
Yeah, it's as close as you can get to an elf, I guess, without two heads.
I guess he's not even really the ball carrier. He's the receiver.
Yeah, that's true. He is a scoring threat.
Whereas Grandly Mantle is the ball carrier. This one's solid. This I like. I don't know if I'd take strong arm. But I get it.
We just saw it in the results. So he had that 2-turn touchdown against.
Yeah.
And that's clearly how he did it.
I get it. Kickoff returns, standard. I'm not a big fan of it, but it works really well. Block, sure hands, Mm-hmm. I would have gone extra arms before strong arm, but I mean, if you've got a receiver that's strength 4 and break tackling and dodging everywhere, might as well, I guess.
Yeah, it's getting use. Results wise, the team's record right now is 10-9-26, so that's the chaos ramp up. But his recent history, he's got some wins, he's got some draws. Let's see, assuming the most recent result stands, he'll actually be on a bit of a streak. So
I always suggest for most chaos coaches that they don't get is they always overlook the wrestle.
Yeah, he doesn't have one. That's very.
It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon, and I'm not gonna bash a chaos coach for not going wrestle because most don't even think about it. But the value of that skill is amazing. A rackle piece or two makes it way scarier.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's got a strength 5 chaos warrior, which is amazing. I have a strength 5. Love the strength 5 chaos warriors, but it's not the chaos warrior with tentacles.
Yeah, that's a little off.
I would like those swapped. I would like the mighty blow on the guard piece and the tentacles on the other one. I also don't agree with block into claw on progression, but I mean now it's a fine piece. Block, claw, mighty blow, guard. It's a progression thing. Jump up's nice. I have a jump up on one of mine, though he's edgy bust. No, it's a good team. I can't shit on anything he's done. I'm not 100% on his progression of build. And the break tackle is been punished by picking up the dodge. If it didn't have break tackle and had two heads, that would be one of the best ball carriers in the chaos lineup.
Very good. Well, let's transition to one of the other chaos teams. You've got Lebowski Urban Achievers. They're coached by Sherdog, and I've played against this coach. He actually streams occasionally too. Good guy. This
must be one that moved up though, because I haven't seen him.
He stayed in Div 3. He was in Div 3 last season, and so he stayed there. But I believe, if I'm correct.
I'm calling shenanigans because I don't remember the Lebowski Urban Achievers.
I'll tell you actually, nope, I'm wrong because he's only played 21 matches. So that would
That's
be
right.
last season, this season, and Devastational. That's where I know
Yeah.
the name from.
There we go.
So not as much development, obviously, because there's been fewer games, but the progression so far, heavy on the Chaos Warriors, and the Beastmen look like they've been taking some beating.
I mean, that's the way you want it. I haven't lost a Chaos Warrior since I started playing in the REBBL. My 4 Chaos Warriors are all original.
Assuming
really
Jesus rolls another 11, he can't get an agility up. So what do you take first?
I don't. I'm gonna work up to Jesus.
Okay.
The dude is amazing. The dude is a piece that you dream of. Like jump up, claw, piling on. Like I wish my killers had jump up now. Like every time my claw palm goes down, I'm like jump up would be amazing here, but not until doubles.
Do you give him block or tackle next?
Block.
Yeah.
Block. I mean, especially since he's not your. I personally prefer one Chaos Warrior killer, one Beastman killer.
Mm-hmm.
The Beastman killer tackle is much more important because it's much more mobile, whereas your Chaos Warrior killer hits the bigger guys.
Makes sense.
So block next. The Big Lebowski, all he needs is stand firm, and he's hands down, a solid piece that I'd be jealous of.
Yeah.
Walter, I don't agree with you already have one piling on Chaos Warrior. I wouldn't want 2 Chaos Warriors on the ground, but I mean, still fine.
I would like it more as long as he just commits to never piling on unless he gets a natural armor break.
I can see that. It's just, I mean, it's hard to go down players like that already, and especially when they're your roadblocks,
Right.
The last thing I want is for my roadblocks to be on the ground. I have one Chaos Warrior killer, and when he's on the ground, it's made up for by the fact that I've got a Strength 5, and the rest have stand firm and guard, so they make up for it. But yeah, I would have liked to see a different progression on it, but it's still not a bad progression.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if he's getting 2 removals a turn, that's going to be very effective.
I don't like Jesus. I'm just gonna say it.
I'm pretty sure Jesus is going to get traded to Iron Master at the end of the season.
Don't get me started on Iron Master's team.
Don't worry, we're going there too.
Trust me, I've talked to him. He has one of my pieces, and I told him what would happen this season, and now it's happening this season.
Yeah,
but we'll get there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Agi 5 on a movement 5 pace. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, he's an Agi 5. He can go in and hit someone, but I mean,
he's still got no skills.
No skills, ton of bloat. He's going to develop super slow. The thing about Chaos is...
he's going to level, actually. He's beating no touchdowns.
The thing, I guess you get him... I don't even know. Block, I guess. Leap.
He's already scored 5 touchdowns. And inflicted 2 casts. I'm surprised.
I mean, if you hit somebody enough, you're going to inflict something. Mm-hmm. The thing with Chaos is you have mutations, generals, and strength access skills. It's amazing. I mean, that's why it's one of my favorite teams, is because there's just so much you can do that it often feels like doubles and things like that can hurt you a lot in your early development. You want them late in the development, and I know you gotta, be greedy sometimes, but
I can testify. I mean, we're getting there. I can testify. I have skipped no less than 5 doubles on my Black Orcs because you just don't need it, and it really does slow you down. I would much rather have block, guard, mighty blow on all 4 Black Orcs than dodge anywhere in there. Sure, it's great once you have those other things, especially with stand firm, but I mean, it doesn't fit with the strength access. There's just better stuff you can get.
Agreed. So I'm not a big fan. If he makes it work for him, great. I'm not gonna, shit on something that's a lot of fun.
The last thing I'll say on them is his record's actually really good. 13, 2, and 6.
I mean, with
a chaos team this
full killers.
Yeah,
but 2 full killers in a lesser developed league is going to be great. And I mean, he's got a tackle piece, a block tackle to play safety. Warner Snout can develop into an amazing ball handler. I've got a dodge beastman with sure hands. He just needs he needs 2 heads, block, extra arms, and he'll be a great ball carrier. So I like this development a lot more than I like the other team's development. I just don't agree as much.
The only knock I'm going to put on him is he's beat the lower teams and he's lost 2-0 to the higher teams. So that might be more coach, but
I
also
mean,
his development's not that great either. So yeah,
you do have to look at how easy a person's,
record, right?
yeah, how easy their season's going, and then go from there. But yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
all I have to say on that one.
Cool.
I'm amped up for Div 2 knowing we're going to talk about Iron Masters team.
So before we do that, let's take a quick peek at the matches still to be played for Week 5. We've got the Please Don't Murder Me Cenobite game, which looks like it might need to be replayed. It didn't get very far, a couple turns, or it might just be that Luke Sama has to concede another one because of internet issues. We'll see.
Has he conceded a bunch before for internet issues?
Twice this season.
Ooh, that's...
Yeah, we're getting to an issue there, but we'll see how that plays out. He last week though he played fine, so we'll see. And then the other games, the ones that I like, Skinky Island Boys versus The Secret of My Success. As many mighty blows as you throw on those orcs, doesn't matter. I think Skinky Island Boys is, or no, this isn't the mighty blow one. This is the Blodge heavy orc team. Either way, I still prefer Skinky Island Boys. I think
agreed.
Is a great
Unless they're
coach.
tackle heavy.
He's not super. He's got a couple, but not a lot. He has to play the skink removal game. That's his best chance, but we'll see.
I think Lords of Decay has a really good chance against.
That was the other one, yeah. I think that if he can, if he can play the Skaven game, Chaos.
He's got a lot of
blodge.
blodge.
Against.
He's down a gutter runner, it looks like, but he's got a ton of blodge.
And we just saw Lebowski is down one of their tackle pieces, so there's only one tackle for them.
I'm gonna go Skaven on that one. I like 2 killers, and 2 killers are great, but tackle.
I agree.
Chaos coaches, if I can say it enough, get tackled. Don't be like me and go a whole season trying to get tackled. And now I just have gobs of it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to Div 2. And looking at the Week 4 action, Steve, the Necro team, played the Oil Miners, and Oil Miners got their first win as we predicted. I think that they were due, and Yayo, unfortunately, just kind of... What happened with this game? I don't even know. I'm going to have to watch a replay. Oh, I see what happened. Yayo gave up 83 blocks. That is just one shy of a cheesing. That is too many blocks to give up.
I feel bad when 50 blocks is a lot of blocks and completely unacceptable. I think I gave up almost 40 blocks against Eisenmike, and I was kicking myself. To give up double that, there's just no... I know you want a base, but there's just no... You can't do it, especially against... I think Pigsub was one of the most deadly coaches last season.
The most kills, kills.
You can't do it. It looks like nobody got hurt, really.
Well, there was a kill. It was probably a zombie. Something meaningless, but...
I don't see... Oh, yeah, one death. There we go.
But absolutely no SPP gain for Yayo, so that's going to put his early start to the season, put the brakes on it.
MVP's really nice. At least there's that.
Dirge is an awesome golem. Pretty close to... I don't even know what he'd get. Hopefully he rolls doubles, gets dodge.
Yeah. Becomes a new hindered dejection.
Yeah, exactly. Fruity Kisses won 2-1 over Leafy Mustard. We know Grazoot was not happy about that one. I guess there was a misclick.
Zoot's a friend of mine, and he's a horrible person. And Agi, I always play friendlies to get him hyped up for the season, and I try and bounty his things, but sometimes it's Fruity Kisses Ladeus' team, right?
Yep.
Ladeus pulls shenanigans, a lot of shenanigans, and losing to it, no shame. Zoot's a solid coach.
30 passes, 9 armor breaks. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Mainland Rotters 1-1 draw against Treat Kundo. Just not a lot of pieces. It looks like actually Zork did survive a game without any deaths, so there's that. And inflicted a death on Wedge's Mainland Rotters.
Does he still have 5 strength 5 pieces? I know he lost
one of them. One of them's now a strength 6. Yes,
that's
right. A strength 6 Nurgle warrior. That it was supposed to get tentacles for that level, and then it got strength 6 instead. So we have to wait another 20 SPP for tentacles on that one. But the strength 5 one did get tentacles, so now there are 2 strength 5 tentacle pieces when you count the beast.
That's
strength 6.
That's surprising. Nurgle's kind of made to counter elves a lot of ways. He has no tackle, but
he's
tentacles.
getting to the point of Animal Farm where if he can't start winning with the team, what the hell is it going to take to make him win?
I mean, he had 3 strength 5s, and they all had block at one point.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's a scary team. But then I realized when you look into it more, it's lacking in a lot of ways. Again,
he's not built to play Bash. He's built to play Agi exclusively. And so that's going to cost him in a very Bash. I mean, he's got a lot of elves in this division, so he can get away with it. But if he ever did go up to Div 1, he would be hurting.
Oh, but the tentacles. The dream of the tentacles on a strength 6 Nurgle warrior.
I know. Ooh. That would be fun.
The dream is alive.
Yeah. So Live Tree or Die Hard played
Zork Sullen? Oh, no, that's Stouticus?
This is Stouticus. No, this is Duberman.
Okay.
Duberman and Golgoth, and that game was, I think, last night.
When they were drunk?
Yes, the drunk one.
Duberman and I started, I don't know if we started at the same time, but I started in Div 2 with Duberman when he was playing High Elves. I want to say it was the Blackfire Loyalists. Was that Duberman? Somebody might have to correct me. There was Duberman and Dizarino. I think Dizarino had dwarves, and now he's in one of the lower divisions. And Duberman had High Elves, and now he's up here.
Couldn't say. I don't know.
Yes, I'm gonna go with time. Either way, both of them started in Div 2 with me. Duberman's a solid coach. I know he knows how to play elves, so
I will say Snakes took it away from Golgoth, but you gotta love the Wood Elf fouls. There was some serious foul action, including one that if he didn't make the foul, he wouldn't have scored the touchdown that won the game. So I appreciate that.
They're both good coaches. I miss having Goal up in Div 1.
Yeah, I don't like having him in Div 2.
Your friendly still going strong?
I made him burn an Apo to save him, and he did.
He will. He's done it before.
Yep. Snovgard lost 1-2 over Typos Happen, the Orc team that kind of snuck their way into this division. And that's their first win of the season, so good on them. They needed that one. Not an anime sports team. Won 3 over Iron Madden. That game was a game.
I mean, that's not surprising. I watched it.
Yeah, Gengar didn't even pick up the ball once. Oh, no, he did pick it up. He picked it up one time.
I mean, I think he tried to at least pick it up, but
he did try.
Nobody accuses Gengar of being a good coach. I'll just say that. I mean, you bash the clock. You bash the clock.
I didn't like his positioning.
Yeah, sure.
Mean, for Khemri, you can position all over the place and have control, and he kind of stacked up in the middle and just let the elves walk around.
You gotta keep your Tomb Guardian spread out, but yeah. I mean, if people wanna accuse Gengar of being a good coach, by all means. I'm not gonna, but I mean, it's the same shtick he was playing with Norse.
I was gonna say the great Norse comment. That's where you're going. I got it. Legend. That's what.
I mean, his team was the same thing as it is now.
Yeah.
Foul, and it works out sometimes. But I don't think he ever made it to Div 1 in G-Man, and I don't think he'll ever make it to Div 1 in REL.
He's had a slow start to this season. And then the last game was myself, Brazzers, playing Ace Trucking Company. I can tell you, first half, I got a lot of Chaos Dwarves off the pitch. Got the easy turn 8 touchdown, even though he threw a wizard at me. And then all his KOs came back, and none of my KOs came back, and my Black Orcs just spent the rest of the game stunned, and he got a nice win. Or not, draw, rather.
That's nice. I don't... Quix was one of our elves that re-rolled into Chaos Dwarves, seeing as 2 of them did. Mm-hmm. But I only see like a few posts from him every once in a while about his games, and it seems like there's a lot of shenanigans going on. So
it was a very close game. Yeah, the Lideus one I think was the most shenanigan, where he had his Bull Centaurs failing GFIs.
Oh, that happens.
Snaking.
When it happens, it happens.
Yep. So looking at the leaderboard before we go into the teams, Duberman with that win over Golgoth actually now has sole possession of first. I think there are a couple teams that can come up close to him.
Lots of Agi up in here.
Yeah, all those elves. And And then Yayo took that loss, so he's kind of a step back. He was up front. To me, I don't see how Golgoth doesn't get through, although he does have 2 losses now, but I don't see how he doesn't get through with that one-turner. As long as he puts up the one-turner, he should be just fine. And then right in the middle of the pack are the Bash teams. And actually, I'm surprised to see Gengar at 203 with that win over Golgoth this week. We'll have to talk about that game next week. Let's see. Is there any other teams? So the first team that we're going to talk about is Snovgard. They are currently in last place and winless. You have some thoughts as to why that might be?
Well, I bamboozled Iron Master in the postseason by trading him Snowball for a wrestle piece and a block tackle piece. I way got the better end of that deal. But I told him, with all the doubles and all the stat ups and everything else this season, you don't have the development to play in a developed div like Div 2. It's not doable. Chaos doesn't need a lot of the stat ups and the doubles and everything else.
So he's got 4 doubles and 5 stat ups that he's running right now.
So it's super bloaty. I mean, he's got 17-10 with a player missing, so 11 players.
Mm-hmm.
It's all stacked up. So, I mean, let's just start. The Leap Agi for extra long legs, that's a cool chaos warrior. Super fun. I don't think I'd want it, but super fun. Like, watch me leap into this cage and,
He does stuff with it, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, of course you can do stuff with it. Agi 4 extra long legs leap. You can do all kinds of things.
How many interceptions does it have? Because people keep throwing around it, which is just hysterical to me. No interception. Interceptions inflicted.
Does it not have
it?
It
doesn't track it. It just says interception sustained. So, I know he won.
He's got to be a few.
Well, he won a game last season just off an interceptions. I think he had 2 in one game. But yeah, the fact that people throw anywhere near that thing is hysterical.
So, like, it's an amazing piece, and if you can get it near a cage, it's gonna go in. And it's going to do work. Strength 4, leaping on what? Agi 4, extra long legs is a 2+?
Yep.
Yeah, 2+. I mean, anywhere in the cage, wreck some things. But I much prefer his neck cast warrior with the, blodge guard. Get him stand firm, done.
Yep.
The dodge into the strength kind of sucks, but again, I'd keep it. I'd get him block, and then, whatever, he's a roadblock still. Works. Strength 5 works about as well as stand firm. So, and then the last one, fine. Pomagor, great. Snowball is going to be too slow to develop, in my opinion.
He had more guard on his Beast Warriors, or Beastmen, whatever, and they died or got niggled and fired. So I know he had more guard. Only 3 kind of hurts, but he has these 3 strength ups, so he doesn't necessarily need it. It would just help his survivability.
In a div being run by Agi at the top, it's gonna happen. Also, he also picked up Benjamin as another one of my old players. I sold Benjamin 2 or 3 seasons ago,
and I said no one would buy him, and sure enough, Iron Master did.
Picking up my leavings, I decided it was too much bloat. I want a dirty player, but now I don't want dirty players because I should be clearing it with Claw and everything else. So I can see him wanting a dirty player. The kick is kind of useful with Agi 5 everywhere and Agi 4 and stuff.
The thing that I've been criticizing him for 3 seasons now is you gotta get a killer. You gotta start with the killer, and then you blitz with the killer every single turn, and then it becomes your priority piece because it removes other pieces, and it levels up quickly all on its own just because you use 1 blitz every time. He had a Minotaur. You convinced him to fire the Minotaur, but the Minotaur was his killer. Yep. And so, sure, it cleaned up his Team V, but he still hasn't gotten a killer.
Well, he cleaned up his TV just to bloat it with a bunch of other crap.
Yep.
So, I will say this. Developing killers on Chaos is the easiest thing you can do. I had a Weebay copy in Napoleon, plus movement, mighty blow, claw, block, all that. He died 2 seasons ago, and I rebuilt a claw palmer in a season. I mean, just start roll elbow drop or Kuro into a killer quickly.
Well, and his excuses every time he starts to level 1, they just get something interesting, like his third Chaos Warrior there.
Oh.
It was going to be Claw, and it was going to be Block, and instead he rolled the double and took Dodge, couldn't resist, and then he rolled the Strength up, couldn't resist.
You know how I would fix this team? I would sell Claw Witch, I would sell Snowball, I would sell Benjamin, and then I would buy real pieces and start building them like an actual Chaos player.
Yeah, he needs to. I mean, he's gonna get unless he starts turning the season around, he's gonna probably get relegated anyway. So yeah, I might as well rebuild.
He's gonna get, if he gets relegated, whatever, that's fine. It's just I don't see him making his way back up that season either. I mean, less developed teams, the strength might help, but you need development. You need base skills, especially the higher divs. So
yeah. All right, and the other team that we're going to take a look at is Live Tree or Die Hard. They are at the top leader of the leaderboard. Dubermans, Wood Elves. Took a couple bits of damage against Golgoth. My favorite of which is the niggling injury on that Agi 5 thrower. I think he's going to keep it, which is going to be delicious. It's going to be a big fat bullseye for me when I play him later this season. And the Agi bust on the Raj Step guard lineman.
Still keep it.
I think he would keep. Yeah, I would probably keep that too. And what's the other one at Perm as well? Just an MNG, but it was already movement busted.
I would, he's got quite a few injuries. I would keep all of them.
He's got a very developed Wood Elf team.
Yeah.
With those injuries coming back, I think his team value before would have been another 3, 4, or probably close to 1950. So yeah, he's probably actually the highest TV without these missing X games and the whole league, or not the whole league, the division.
Lots of Raj linemen, love it.
Mm-hmm.
John Harrington, great piece. Wish it was blocked, but I see the development path and would keep it. Corbin Dallas, multi-pass. I mean, the dream is get strong arm. Right?
Yeah.
It's
I would actually skip sure hand or skip strong arm and just do sure hands next. Because he's already able to do 3+ long bombs and 2+ everything else. I mean, to me, you're not throwing that many long bombs because it's at 7 movement player.
But when you can throw long bombs, you do.
Not Lideus we're talking about.
I mean, it doesn't even matter when you get that. It's an amazing feeling. I like the team. I don't have any complaints. Good Cat's cool. David Dunn hasn't taken injury, and he's super speedy. So
the one thing that stands out to me is because he has so much wrestle, Juggernaut could just demolish this team, and that's actually what Golgoth had. I don't know, Golgoth doesn't. Golgoth, Stormvermin are crap.
Not many people have Juggernaut.
It's just begging for a Juggernaut to come in and mow them down.
If you can find 2 Juggernauts in Div 2, I will do the rest of the recaps and help you out with all of them.
Well, I've got one. Let's see if there's another one. If it's anything, it would be on
Pigs.
Pigs, yeah, maybe.
Nope.
Oh, really? Nobody gonna bail me out on this one? No, he's got a strength up on the Orc team. Killer.
Not even Gengar has it.
God, I am the only one with Juggernaut. I
Told you.
usually see it on Stormvermin, but I know Golgoth Stormvermin are just
they recycle a lot, yeah.
Yeah, wow. I
mean,
guess that's my job to kill him.
There you go. Use the Juggernaut.
I love the Juggernaut. I did my Juggernaut Frenzy piece.
It's just not a super early development thing, and it's not something that... It's not a pretty skill. It's not a flashy skill. so a lot
It
of people
was
don't
it
take
was
it.
broken for a while, so I know
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't take it for that reason. But
It was broken in a good way for a little bit. I think it's
if your opponents have any fend, any wrestle, or any stand firm, to me, you always want to have one with it. So
I don't even know if Div 1 has 2 juggernauts.
NPA had one, didn't he?
Oh yeah, it's Stormbringer. So Lumi and Nose Dice do,
Yeah.
and NPA does not. So 2. There's 2 in
Yeah.
Div 1.
There you go. So yeah, that's Div 3. Taking a look at the matches that have not been played yet this week. Anything interesting? I see non-anime sports team versus Steve. I think that's a crucial one if Arch wants to make a playoff run this season, because Steve is also in the playoff competition. I like Arch to win that.
Agreed.
I think Yeo's doesn't have a lot of tackle in the first place. And then the other one is Live Tree versus Mainland Rotters.
If he couldn't do it against Tree Kundo, I don't know.
Well, I mean, even a tie against that team is good for everybody else since Live Tree's in front. But yeah, I do think Wedge, he needs to win this and make a big statement, because the thrower's going to be out. One of the other pieces is out. So he's getting a lot of inducements, but inducements really shouldn't impact Nurgle that much, especially Wood Elf ones. So
Yeah, inducements being out, and I mean, just don't block with your tentacle pieces and let them tentacle.
I mean, there's a niggled War Dancer, there's an AV6 catcher. Like, you just got to hit them, and they should go down, and it should be done. But and tentacles, you got 2 tentacle pieces.
When I'm playing Nurgle and Chaos, I want to hit lizards more than anything, because everything's AV7 to a Chaos and a Nurgle coach, but the actual AV7 ones actually have skills to offset it.
Right. It's true. But he's got tentacles.
Yeah.
I really want
when that string 6 get tentacles. Oh, I want him to just be. I just want it to be Wedge and then nothing but elves in his division.
Yeah, I'm taking a quick peek at it. So he's got this one, the Strength 5 with tentacles. Beast of Nurgle has guard. He's got 1 killer. He's got 1 frenzy tackle piece, which I really like. And then his killer Nurgle Warrior has tackle now too. So yeah, good stuff. Please win Wedge, please. All right, let's move on to Div 1.
Week 4.
Necronomics 1-1 against Ninja Pirate Assassin.
NPA finally came to play.
Yeah, he showed up, got the draw. Necronomics has had a rough start to the season.
Mean, NPA pretty much was giving away free wins the first 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well,
and then he comes to play against the 2-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, that's a little tilting, I'm sure.
It's great for the keeping the runnings close. I mean, not that Horny Cricket was at the top or anything, but
yeah.
I'm happy with that outcome.
It definitely gives him an uphill road if he wants to get back into the playoffs and defend his title.
Booze Cruise, tying Gloom and Zoom's big.
Yep. 18 armor breaks there for the Booze Cruise. They do a lot better when they get removals. And not so well when they get removed.
They haven't been having a lot of luck recently, getting bashed.
Yeah. And against Fiction's team, actually I'm surprised. So 10 removals for the Booze Crews, only 3 for Gloom and Zoom, but the Werewolves were still able to keep it tied.
It's just all that claw up in REL 1 makes it hard for a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Shiners vs. Cheese.
So this, we do have to mention, the Goblin did a thing. Apparently
the Goblin is now like the most expensive piece on his team.
That's true too, but it actually did it strip a rat? Is that what happened, or did it just do the 1 turn?
I didn't watch. Most of Cheese's games have been like dicey draws. So it is
13 removals on this Gaven.
Yeah, it is not okay. It is not the most expensive piece on the team. I thought it might have been with that amazing troll gun.
Oh yeah, troll.
That's Battle of the Children. Kids in the playpen. Slap fight on the school grounds.
That's awesome.
Recess bully. I mean, I don't know. Nose Dice has earned my begrudging respect because we've tried to stab him out, but like a cockroach, he just won't go away. I've killed so many pieces, and he just is still here. And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm okay with Nose Dice.
He's become part of the room.
I mean, I think everybody's just kind of accepted that he's here,
Nice.
hiding behind Cheerio boxes and pooping in the cupboards.
Knights Who Said Knee off to a rough start as well. Going 0-2 to New Year's Norse.
He didn't break anything.
Ornan is coming out swinging.
Ornan got real lucky with AB7, and Ornan's positioning decently. There were some questionable times, but I wasn't like upset with anything. But yeah, he's coming out strong.
And you took a 2-0 win over Tadpoles in the big city. They also came out strong, but you put them into the Cavs box.
Yeah, they're still number one. They have an early start, and there's only so much. 130 and Cheese play very similar from what I've seen, which is base, and then hopefully profit. The difference is 130 has a shit ton of Mighty Blow and is using a bunch of Strength 4 pieces with guard, and Cheese does not. So Cheese has gotten trimmed, unluckily, because he hasn't even hit Claw yet, and 130's been rolling. But you can't play the base game against a dedicated kill team. So didn't hurt anything, but it was a pretty sound game. I'm not going to say an easy game, but it was nothing
I watched
out of the ordinary.
There's a pitch clear in the process if it went a little longer. There's a lot of removals. And then New Idea Co-op took out the pastry pests and removed very important piece.
Got rid of Navoli for us. I mean,
no more natural one-turner for the pastry pests.
It's so good. Kool-Aid and Lumi are machines when it comes to Blood Bowl. Like, it's probability, safe play. If you want to practice positioning, watch Kool-Aid versus Sage in one of the playoffs, the Chaos versus Chaos.
Yeah.
It is the pinnacle of positioning. Him and Lumi both know how to position. Lumi's very good about not rolling dice. Like, rolling dice is a bad word for Lumi. So,
yeah.
I mean, that one, I don't know what their record is. I think they're pretty even in their games against each other.
I called that one because, in my opinion, I think Lumi plays things pretty tight to the chest in the first half of the season, and then he starts to let loose near the end. So it didn't surprise me that it was both low scoring and that Lumi, didn't risk it too much. I
would actually probably agree with it because when they play later in the season, Lumi tends to come on top because he plays really risky because he needs the wins. So I would agree with that.
Yeah. USS Sulaco getting the win over Men in Tights.
That one surprised me, honestly. Because Mike's team is how lizards should be built. Control lizards, super hard to deal with, but they have no tackle. And I thought Slightly Bent was going to be able to run around him, but I guess not.
34 ones is a lot of ones. A lot of ones. We rolled a lot of dice in general, but looks like the pickups were all there. Dodges not so much. He made
11 failures on dodges.
Yeah,
that's rough.
That's not great.
Especially considering that most of your elf dodges are Agi 4 with dodge, so they have to be double ones.
Yeah,
which is ending your turn.
Running circles around the Crocs or something stupid. But yeah, that is a surprising one. So the two teams that we're going to look at, well, I guess before the leaderboard. So we mentioned Tadpoles in the big city, 130. Top of the charts right now with 4 wins. Just behind him are the New Day Co-op and the New Year Norse. Gotta love the new kids on the block, starting out strong, but will they be able to hold is the question.
I think Tadpoles, a lot of the veteran teams are pretty beat up at this point, and I think Tadpoles has a pretty good shot of running through. It's a little harder claw-wise, and they might run into a game like me, but I think Tadpoles has a really good shot at being in the playoffs this season.
I think that's fair. Behind them, Gloom and Zoom, your team, Animal Farm, and
I hate draws. It's too many draws this season.
Yeah, no, don't even get started. I'm 1-4-0.
Draws just, I've had seasons, but draws it just doesn't point wise add up. You need wins, but
My favorite is you just stomp all over the first half, and then they make some dice, and then all of a sudden it's 1-1 at turn 16.
that hasn't been happening for me. What's been happening for me is no damage, no damage, no damage. Last 4 turns, all the damage.
Yeah, I did see that against Eisenmike.
Yeah, it happens.
Let's see. Anyone that's too surprising? I guess Nosedive hasn't had a great start. Mistakes hasn't had a great start. We already know MPA was kind of not even in it. Yeah, I guess Horny Cricket's the big surprise to me, but I mean, it's still very early.
After doing a run for the Super Bowl, it takes a lot out of your team.
Yeah.
So
it's still got all the core pieces there. I mean, obviously, there's a defective issue with flesh golems in the league. That's how all the werewolves roll doubles and stat ups, is they just sap the strength right out of their golems, so they're just frail.
None of these surprise me. Motley being on the middle is usually he does better, but I guess there's a lot more claw to deal with. So
yeah, if you don't have claw, you're
Mike had
claw or Agi 4, I should say.
Mike had a really rough start. Like Cheese had a really easy early season. So I think we'll see Cheese drop, and Mike had a really hard early season, and so I think we'll see Mike go up.
Makes sense. So the teams that we're going to take a look at first, we're going to take a look at your team, since we haven't talked enough chaos today. Animal Farm, 2070 TV.
Not the bloatiest team in the league.
No, you're not.
I'm out TV'd by Norse, which is surprising.
It is, and probably temporary.
What do you want to talk about my team? Tell me about it.
Tell you about it. You got all the tackle you need.
I have gobs of tackle.
Yeah.
I told you.
Diving tackle on anything? If you got
we were discussing this today. Clover 3, my Raj piece, is 1 SPP away from leveling, and he's supposed to be my sacker. I want to get him tackle, strip ball, 2 heads. I'm trying to decide on the order. It's killing me. But if he rolled doubles, I'd get diving tackle on him. If the second red shirt rolled doubles, I'd get diving tackle on him. I'd pretty much get diving tackle on any of the pieces that would roll it, other than the top 6 pieces on the.
I was to say,
ordered by SPP.
The one that makes me question it would be Mr. Plinkington. If he's not too far off from 76.
Pilkington? Yeah.
Is he going to be the Blodge firm, or would he get, since he's already got tackle, would he get diving tackle?
If he rolled it, he'd get diving tackle. But Blodge would be amazing. Yeah, I think I'd go Blodge on him. You roll doubles, I'd go Blodge. The thing
is, at the high TV, things are going to have tackle that are going to need it. And the dodge, to me, like I've already transitioned to this point with my orc team, I think, where early on you want the dodge because there's not a lot of tackle out there. But after, say, 1800 TV, I just think that it's so common to face tackle that jump up or diving tackle is just going to be more useful.
I will say this. I like diving tackle on a stand firm tackle piece. It's amazing. I like it on ones that are marking pieces a lot. The other thing is, I agree that the pieces that have tackle will have them. But unlike my ball carrier or something else, he's a piece that isn't really being hit by what's chosen. It's by being hit by what I choose to base him against.
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm picking what hits him and what doesn't most of the time. He is very rarely blitzed, but Mr. Pilkington is probably the best piece on my team. He pulls off more bullshit than anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair. I bring it up because I think about it myself with my Black Orcs as they're starting to get that you know, at that TV where you have to make that choice if you do roll another double. Let's see. Other than that, Frenzy piece, gonna Juggernaut next.
Probably.
Yeah, I like that.
I've been wanting a Frenzy piece forever, and originally the Strength 4 Beastman that I sold to Iron Master was gonna be my Frenzy piece, and I was just like, that's gonna take too long. I need more tackle because I don't have enough.
It's bloaty too. I mean, you don't need Strength 5 Frenzy. Strength 4 Frenzy's good enough.
So I traded him out for this piece, and he got Frenzy. Just like I traded out for him in the wrestle piece that now is Rackle. Because I just really wanted tackle. You go one season without tackle as a chaos coach. You're like, I need all the tackle, and
Yeah.
now I have a lot.
No, it looks good.
I'm happy with my team. I've embraced the bloat at this point. I said there's no point trying to trim it anymore. The pieces I have, I've kind of fallen into where I just want Wrestle Beastmen.
Yeah.
Like I don't want more killers. I've got 2 dedicated killers and some killy Chaos Warriors.
What's the one piece that is level 5 or higher that you could live without?
Mr. Frederick.
You're due for a death.
Mr. Frederick.
Strength 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just realized that the stand firm pieces do the job that Mr. Frederick does, but better and cheaper. I mean, He gets blocked a lot, and also, ever since he took that Agi bust against Shooty, he just gets removed all the time. On the plus side, he did kill Huge Jackman and Trunkhead's Ogre, and he has this weird obsession with killing big guys. So I don't know.
Troll's already dead, so I don't know if he's going to get much work this season.
I think I would definitely, if anybody had to die, and I'm not saying I want anyone to die because my team's one of the healthiest teams in this league, it would be Mr. Frederick.
That's fair.
Level 5 or up.
That's fair. All right. Well, the other team that we're going to talk about is the Pastry Pests.
I thought we were going to talk about Kool-Aid's team. Pastry Pests.
I already talked about Kool-Aid's team.
I love Kool-Aid's team.
So, Pastry Pests suffered a great loss.
So, the one-turner, but I told Lumi when I killed Bavoti that he was the linchpin of his team, and the rest was downhill, and it started to happen.
Yeah. I will say this, though. 1530 Skaven are scarier than 1900 Skaven.
Very much agreed. Especially when you have a dedicated killer like Nilla. You have 2 legends.
When 400 TV is on your Stormvermin, that's scary. Yeah.
I mean, his TV's exactly where he needs it, and he always had that. Now he got rid of Bavoti, which trims it really well.
Yeah.
From a logical standpoint, getting rid of Bavoti makes him a much leaner, meaner team, especially with the development he has on those 3 pieces at the top.
I would say he got value out of it, but
I will say this. Bavoti has functioned as a 3rd Stormvermin and a 3rd or a 5th Gunner Runner forever. He pulls off all this random pickup toss bullshit, pickup run dodge that Lumi doesn't really think about because he just kind of does it when balls are to the wall and he doesn't want to make that choice. It's not a play he wants to make. It's just kind of that forced to do it. So.
Well, I said it in the playoffs. His one mistake in his loss was that he didn't throw with Bavoti. He threw with one of the gutters, and that's why the pass failed. Or he had to use the reroll, and then because it used his reroll, he couldn't reroll the GFI for his 1 turn, and that forced him into a really bad spot for the second half against Astros. But
he's gonna be scary though, because now that he doesn't have a AV6 gutter runner to keep off the pitch, he'll be going from 3 gutter runners a game to 4 gutter runners.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a little bit of time where it's a little bit hairy for him because he's going to have to. I mean, he knows how to protect pieces better than anybody, but there is going to be a nice big target on that up and coming gutter. And who knows? Maybe he'll just roll another movement up on the first level and for everybody.
People have a chance to get him while he doesn't have a bench. Keep inflicting damage.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the bench is trim, and I mean, if I'm doing anything against this team, I'm just tunneling on those Stormvermin.
I mean, you never get a shot. If Lumi has a bench, you will not get any good shots on the pieces he doesn't want you to get.
Yeah. I've seen it. It's impressive.
He's good at defending his pieces. So, I don't know. I mean, 1530, you're going to add a Stormvermin, which is another, 80?
Gutter, you mean?
Yeah, Gutter Runner.
Gutter is 80, yeah.
Yeah. So you add another 80, he'll be 1610. It's a good team.
Very scary.
He needs to get rid of Halva. He's been talking about it, and he needs to do it.
Is he niggled too, or no?
He is niggled. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's niggled and negative movement, and he's a lot of bloat.
He's so close to leveling too.
I mean, what do you get with him though?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But now he's got a guard piece too.
Frenzy?
I've never seen Frenzy, I guess.
I think Frenzy's strength 4. I think that looks sexy. Movement 6 isn't great, but good enough. I mean,
Horns.
yeah. Well, if you get doubles, I guess. But well, I don't think he needs the strength 4.
I've never seen. I will say this: I've never seen Lumi have a guard piece, so I'm interested. He just got it. I'm interested to see
on the kicker. Yeah.
Yeah, Lumi doesn't need guard a lot because he doesn't really take a lot of blocks.
Yeah.
Like he's a scalpel, precision. I'm excited to see what he can do with a little block. Open up a lot more hits for him.
Or it'll die next game.
Or it'll die next game.
One of the two. Cool. Well, let's take a quick look at the upcoming matches that have not been played yet for Week 5 before we wrap this up. I like USS Sulaco versus the Booze Cruise. I think that's going to be a very telling match to middle teams right now, and either one of these could start getting back into the hunt. Which means it'll be a 1-1
time
draw.
for Mike's upturn.
I would like to see that. The problem is this is probably one of the better matchups for the Dwarves because there's no claw against them, and Mike's team isn't super bashy.
It's kind of same philosophy. Booze Cruise is a stand firm guard team. USS Sulaco is a stand firm guard team. They're both control teams, so I think it'll be a pretty boring match.
It'll probably be boring. I will say the movement is what'll obviously tip it heavily in Mike's favor. If he can find the gap, make a hole, whatever it is, get through there. Just roll dice if it comes to it. And then Pharaoh dies. That's all it takes.
Every season, every game, Pharaoh dies.
Yep.
This is the game he dies.
And then the other match I like is New Year Norse versus Necronomics. I think Horny is tired of getting pushed around, and I think the Norse are going to be the wrong guys in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
I think New Year Norse takes it.
Really? Ooh.
Yep. Horny Cricket does not seem to do well against deep benches and like that overwhelming like pressure. I think Horny Cricket's a much better coach. I think Horny Cricket, could pull this out. I will say he has a 2-man bench and a lot of skills means that Norris can take it.
I did see some piling ons I did not like against NPA. And you can't do that, obviously, against a team with bench because they don't even care if they're going to get sent off. They're just going to foul you anyway.
Yep.
And we all felt the pucker around the world when Hate My Hair was almost removed from the game.
I think that New Year Nurse is going to win that. Everybody's going to root for Cricket, and I think Cricket's a better coach. I just don't think he does well against those kind of grindy games.
I just think Ornan's armor is on borrowed time, and there's enough Mighty Blow and just enough.
Has Ornan played 130 yet?
He has not.
130 is the one that's going to do in Ornan's guard. He spams the Mighty Blow and Strength 4. The one I'm interested in is Pastry Pest versus Gloom and Zoom.
Oh, see, I figured the Booze Cruise would be the one to purge the Norse too, but
Pastry Pest,
Gloom and Zoom. Yeah, that's another good one. Although I'd kind of just give that one to Pastry Pest. If
Lumi wins this game against Gloom and Zoom, Lumi, myself, and Fiction will all be tied.
Yeah.
In 4th, 5th, and 6th.
I think that's a playoff spot between the three of you right there.
I lost 1 point Fiction last season. I don't want to lose this one. I'm fighting. I wish I didn't the draws, but it is what it is. It's a very close. Aside from Kool-Aid and 130, it's a very close season.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, yeah. Well, and it's still early. We're only week 5, so the teams at the top could all get still obliterated, and you could have one star piece lose or get killed, and whole motivation of the coach just disappear and make them want to quit. So with that, we're at 1 hour, and that's going to keep us on our time. Thank you so much for joining me today, Saace.
Yeah, no problem.
I will see you guys next time.